On the bench today is the PRS SE David Grissom Tremolo, DGT for short, signature guitar. Hey everyone, welcome back to the bench. The purpose of our new Guitar Collector Guy on the Bench videos is to help you make the decision as to whether to purchase a guitar. Today we've got a guitar that's been on my radar for a long time, PRS SE David Grissom DGT, specifically this beautiful gold top guitar. I have a serious soft spot for gold top guitars. I mean, I've owned two Gibson Les Paul gold tops over the years, one in humbucker format and one P90s. And to me, they're just nothing quite as classic and stunning as a gold top. Combine the gold top with binding and a dark back and sides, and you've got my full attention. When PRS announced the SE DGT gold top in 2023, I was immediately interested. Speaking of DGT, David Grissom is a phenomenal player. I first saw him live with Joe Ely back in the late 1980s, and he just blew me away. You have to be a great player to keep up with Joe Ely. David has been a PRS artist since 1985, and his signature DGT model was originally released way back in 2007. The original DGT is actually based on the PRS McCarty model, but with David's specific touches. From a distance, they look pretty similar, but when you zoom in, the differences stand out. The McCarty typically has a fixed bridge, a more traditional one volume, one tone control layout, and pickups that lean towards a vintage, articulate, and clear PAF style tone. Its neck is generally a bit thicker, offering that comfortable vintage-inspired feel. Now, the DGT, that's where you get the PRS tremolo system, dual volume controls for more blending options, a huge feature for mini players, and hotter DGT pickups specifically developed for blues and rock. And of course, there's David Grissom's custom neck carve, a C shape designed for ultimate playability, allowing for easy thumb over the top playing. Some players find it slightly narrower at the nut compared to the McCarty's wider profiles. So what about this PRS SE version of the DGT? Well, the Indonesian-made SE DGT is a faithful rendition of that USA-made DGT model. Obviously, to hit this price point, there are some differences. You'll find a slightly different neck carve than the core, less figured tone woods, a more utilitarian rosewood fretboard, still great, just not as fancy, a poly finish instead of nitro, non-locking tuners, a synthetic nut instead of bone, and the DGT S pickups rather than the USA DGT pickups. There are even more subtle differences, but these are the main ones you'll notice. I purchased my PRS SE DGT on Reverb from a buyer that had just purchased a guitar a little while ago and had not really played or done anything to the guitar except for installing the PRS locking tuners. When I got the guitar, it was basically a brand new guitar. I would have installed the locking tuners once I got the guitar anyways, so he did me a favor. Let's quickly run through the key specifications for this guitar. The body is made of mahogany with a maple top, featuring PRS's shallow violin top carve. The neck is a one-piece set mahogany neck with a PRS SE DGT neck shape. The rosewood fretboard has a 10-inch radius, and the guitar's overall scale length is 25 inches. There are 22 frets, has a PRS double-acting truss rod with access through the headstock. The neck depth at the nut is 27/32. The width of the fretboard at the nut is 1 21/32, and the width of the fretboard at the body is 2 1/4 inch. Fretboard inlays, moons are on the gold top version of this guitar, and birds are on the tobacco burst. The hardware, there's a bridge that is the PRS patented tremolo that's molded. Tuners are the PRS designed tuners, non-locking, hardware type nickel. The nut is PRS synthetic. Electronics, the treble pickup is a DGT S. The bass pickup is a DGT S. The controls are two volume controls with a push-pull tone control and a three-way toggle pickup selector switch. New, the PRS SE DGT generally retails from $849 to $899. And if you're looking at the used market, current Reverb listings show prices anywhere from $464 to $700, depending on the condition. And here's something interesting. In Reverb's top products report over the past 90 days, the SE DGT actually ranks number 18 in the best sellers for solid body electric guitars. That's a strong showing for any guitar model. But let's talk about the hype. I have never seen so many YouTube videos, articles, and websites starting with a question, does the PRS SE DGT stand up to the hype? It's everywhere. There are just so many online references to how great the guitar is. So I decided to do a bit of sentiment analysis or opinion mining on buyer reviews from major sellers like Sweetwater, Guitar Center, and many others. I wanted to get a general understanding of the overall attitude, whether it's positive, negative, or neutral, of the people that it really matters, the buyers. The opinions are overwhelmingly positive. Buyers are consistently expressing a strong sense of value and genuine surprise at the quality offered at this price point. They generally view the PRS SE DGT as an outstanding guitar that brings the essence and versatility of the claimed DGT core model into a much more affordable package, making it a highly recommended choice for players across various genres. Here's some common and reoccurring phrases that I kept seeing. Punching above its weight. This is a huge theme. Buyers frequently state that the SE DGT performs and feels like a much more expensive instrument, often comparing it favorably to guitars twice its price or more. Excellent craftsmanship for the price. The fit, finish, and fretwork are consistently praised as remarkably good for an SE model or any guitar. Many reviewers highlight smooth fret ends and overall attention to detail. Best SE ever? Many consider it to be one of, if not the best guitars in the PRS SE lineup, offering professional grade features at an accessible price. Constant comparison to the core DGT guitar. While the SE DGT is highly praised, experienced players or those who also own the core DGT do note that the core version often has slightly warmer pickups, more refined aesthetics like a deeper top carve and premium hardware. However, it's almost always followed by statements like, but the SE DGT gets 90% of the core tone and feel, making it an incredible bargain for the dollar. Now, it's not all sunshine and roses. I did find some common minor criticism and considerations. Ironically, though, there's nothing that you can't easily overcome. The tuners. The most frequent minor complaint is the lack of locking tuners. Many buyers choose to upgrade to PRS SE locking tuners, which is an easy and relatively inexpensive modification, set up out of the box. Like many guitars, some buyers report needing minor setup adjustments, things like bridge height, truss rod, intonation, etc. upon arrival, but these are generally easy and quick to remedy. Strings, oddly enough, it comes with 10 to 46 gauge strings. A common minor note is that stock strings are often immediately replaced by the buyer's preferred brand and gauge, but I don't know if that's really a complaint. I mean, I do that on any guitar. Alright, enough about what everyone else thinks. Let's get into my opinions and inspection notes on this specific guitar. From this point forward, I'm taking a much more structured approach to my evaluations in the On the Bench videos using a detailed checklist. I'll walk you through my findings for each area. My electric guitar inspection checklist covers 6 key areas. Number 1 is the overall appearance and condition. Number 2 is the neck and fretboard. Number 3 is headstock and tuners. Number 4 is body and electronics. Number 5 is playability. Number 6 is accessories and documentation. Taking a look at the guitar, we start with overall appearance and condition. The overall weight of the guitar is 7 pounds and 6.6 ounces, or 3.365 kilos. The cleanliness of the guitar is in mint condition. The finish, the gold top finish is beautiful, no scratches, dings, or chips. The binding is clean, and I found no buckle rash. No unusual smells, just the nice smell of a newish guitar. For the neck and fretboard, neck straightness and relief, I placed a capo at the 1st fret, and I depressed the low E string at the 21st fret where the guitar neck meets the body. I then placed my .006 inch feeler gauge between the top of the fret and the bottom of the low E string at the 7th and 8th frets. PRS factory spec for a DGT is .005 inches to .010 inches, so my .006 inch is within spec. The gap was perfect. The bottom of the string sat just above the feeler gauge by an almost imperceptible gap, but when I tapped the string, it touched. Frets. I cannot see any fret wear. I checked for level frets and did not find any fret rocking anywhere on the fretboard. I found no sharp edges on either the treble or bass side of the fretboard for the entire length of the neck. The frets are clean and shiny. The fretboard, the rosewood board is clean. It was just a little dry, so I oiled it. The moon inlays are perfectly secure and flush. The nut is a synthetic nut, as expected. String height at the nut is just right. No issue with high action on the first few frets. The slots in the nut are cut cleanly, set up for size 10 gauge strings anyways, and at the correct height. The nut condition is in perfect new condition. I did put a little bit of graphite from a pencil in each of the slots and did the same on the grooves of the bridge as saddles. The truss rod access is at the headstock, and I gave it actually pulled the cover off, and I gave just kind of a gentle turn and put it back to make sure that it could turn, and it turned smooth as silk and was functional. Headstock and tuners. The headstock condition, the headstock is clean and no cracks. The seller had correctly installed a set of PRS locking tuners, so the guitar matched the PRS standard DGT spec for the guitar. The tuners turn smoothly and hold tension perfectly. No complaints here. I would have done this myself. Overall, the tuners are securely mounted and I found no wiggle. The buttons are secure and undamaged. Body and electronics. The body joint being a set neck, I checked for any signs of separation around the joint and it's perfectly solid. The PRS patented tremolo is a phenomenal unit. The saddles are all present, secure and easily adjustable, no wear. The height and intonation screws turn easily on the saddles. The trem arm is present and fits securely into the bridge. With the springs and claw in the back cavity are clean, no rust. I need to do adjust the bridge screws to the proper height. I also removed the force spring on the string claw off of the trem block. I did need to slightly adjust the 2 claw screws so the floating bridge height was per specs. I think that the prior owner had it blocked down, basically the bridge set flat. The pickups are securely mounted. After adjusting string height to my preferred height and the bridge so it was floating, I needed to slightly adjust the height of both of the pickups. I found no microphonics. I gave each pickup a tap with it plugged into the amplifier. I found no squealing or feedback. The pull pieces on the pickups are clean and no corrosion. Measuring for DC resistance. The bridge pickup measures 8.94 k ohms. Both pickups together measure 4.066 k ohms, and the neck pickup by itself measures 7.40 k ohms, measuring for inductance. The bridge pickup measures 6.14 henries. Both pickups measure 2.68 henries, and the neck pickup by itself measures 4.626 henries. Controls, knobs, and switches. The potentiometers, the volume, 2 volume, and 1 tone. Volume and tone pots are smooth to turn and have no scratchiness. I pulled on the tone pot up and actually engaged coil splitting and it worked fine. The 3-way toggle clicks solidly into each position and works as designed. The output jack I found when I plugged in a cable, solid connection, no cutting out when wiggling, nothing loose. Wiring in the cavities, in the control cavity, all cavity cover plates are present and secure. Wiring looks neat and tidy. A good soldering job and visible. Looks really good. The strap buttons are secure and solid. The action is I set to medium low, very comfortable for me after adjustment. Intonation at the 12th fret is accurate, very close across all strings. I played every note on the fretboard up and down. I couldn't find any fret buzz or rattles. The volume and tone knobs work as expected. The pickup selector gives clear, distinct tones from bridge, neck, and middle, as well as when I pull on the tone and go into single coil mode, works fine there too. I found no noise, just a minor amount when you go into single coil mode, a little bit of hum, but otherwise it's very quiet, good shielding. Sustain and resonance on the guitar is excellent. The guitar sounds great unplugged and plugged into an amplifier. The notes ring the way the guitar is designed. Accessories and documentation. The guitar comes with a very nice PRS SE gig bag and is well padded. I always like the SE gig bags, they're nice. The trem arm was included in one of the pockets and fits perfectly. The correct truss rod wrench was in the gig bag. The guitar came with all the usual PRS paperwork. There is no COA with a PRS SE. So my final thoughts on the PRS SE DGT Gold top. I completely agree with the hype because it's not hype. It appears to be the truth. This guitar absolutely punches above its weight class, to use a commonly used euphemism. For the price, the craftsmanship, playability, and tone you get it's just a phenomenal deal. The criticisms that I noted are minor and easily addressed, as I said prior. If you're looking for a versatile, well-built guitar that feels and sounds like something much more expensive, the PRS SE DGT is absolutely worth your consideration. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you've played an SE DGT or what your favorite gold top guitar is.